Well, howdy there, y'all. This is Solar Diva. I've decided to turn this basement Junkin thing into a kind of like a serious thing. Talk to y'all about how to play the guitar, inspire y'all to play guitar. Now, there's a lot of... If you look at playing guitar, it can appear intimidating. You get all these platonic scales, you got all these notes and chords and everything. But I am here to prove to you that if you've got a little bit of natural talent, it can go a long way. When I first started playing guitar, obviously, I had all 4 fingers. But as time went on, shortly after I started learning how to play, I lost the use of my pinky finger, and now it's just totally useless. I can't hold a string down. And then after I learned to play with just 3 fingers and get things down right, I lost the use of my middle finger. I only had 2 fingers, but persistent as I was to play the guitar, I learned to use just them 2 fingers. Got more usage, and I was able to use it and put it in there. You can see. Second thing is, you gotta decide what you want to play. Whether you want to play Les Paul, Fender, Rickenbacker, Gibson, whatever. Myself, I prefer Fender. Fender amp with distortion, drive select, and I use a practice amp on top of that because see, without the practice amp, what you get is this. Small cooler amp to it. And you get a badder sound, you get a better sound. There are 2 main effects I like to use in my playing. As you notice, I use a lot of distortion. I have overdrive on both amps. I use those, and I use a grunge box, a Digitech grunge box. I'm not gonna introduce you to the other effects, which is called a delay, because You want to get your main sound before you start tweaking and weirding it out and adding extra effects. And you also want to just play around, get a good program like Audacity that has some effects in it, delay, phaser, I think it's got flanger. You can go Mixcraft, but yeah, it costs, and I don't know what your budget is. But if you ain't got the budget for that, then stick with Audacity. It's a good one to record live with, and then you can go back in and put in the effects that you want. What I do, I don't put anything extra in my music that isn't already there. All this weird stuff that you hear from me, that's all me. As you can see, my main effect is just the stomp box. Is that grunge box. And later on down the road, like I said, we'll introduce you to delay. Now, delay's a little bit more, it's not complicated, but you gotta know what sound you're looking for. It took me a long time to hit the delay. And for a while, I didn't even use it because I was having troubles figuring out where to go with it. But after years of playing with it and stuff, I got the settings down, and obviously each pedal is going to be different than the next one. Digitech for your grunge, definitely. As you can tell, some of those other sounds that I get that seems like it's, I take it into the studio and mix the hell out of it. No. This, I'll play with your look at it as a complicated thing, then it's going to be complicated. If you look at it as a simple thing, it'll be simple. Like I said, hell, I can play with one finger if need picked up from watching some Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix uses his thumb a lot. I only use it for certain effects because I don't have that long of a thumb. It's kind of short. My fingers are kind of short and stubby. But there are some effects I can get out of it. Later on down the road, we'll get into a little more detail on how to play guitar, but I just want every gal out there to know that you can play guitar. It doesn't have to be rhythm, it doesn't have to be in the background, you can be a lead guitarist. Loud, obnoxious. I'm not saying you shouldn't play. I'm not saying you shouldn't play Les Paul or a Gibson or anything else like that. Myself, I prefer Fender. Fender is like the Timex of guitars. The damn thing will take a licking, no pun intended, and keep strumming. Because I'm rough on my guitars. I quiet them, bang them on the ground. I use all different kinds of things to get the sounds that I get.